What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Tyler Reviews episode 195, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about Messi hoisting the MLS Cup, Lando Norris being the new F1 champion, and the Colts are making a lot of news in the quarterback situation and room. But first, let's head to the MLB. So we're starting this one off. In the MLB, winter meetings are currently going on, so there's a lot of stuff happening when it comes to trades, some free agent signings, and potential rule changes. Obviously, rule changes have not come out, if any will come, but we have some free agent news. We'll talk about that first. The Dodgers and Miguel Rojas agreed to 1 year, $5.5 million, and the big reliever out of this free agent window, Edwin Diaz, 3 years, $69 million. Not surprised the Dodgers got who they wanted. Edwin Diaz kind of, to me, is on the bottom end of his career, but can Diaz get it done this upcoming season with the Dodgers? I think the bullpen did not look all that great out of the closer situation. If Evan Phillips stays healthy, maybe he could still be the closer, but Edwin Diaz, as long as he stays healthy, it's going to be a pretty good booster to that bullpen. Tampa Bay signed Steven Matz and Cedric Mullins. Philadelphia re-signs Kyle Schwarber, 5 years, $150 million. Supposedly the Pittsburgh Pirates put out a pretty nice offer for Schwarber as well. He decides to stick with Philadelphia. Pittsburgh signs Gregory Soto, 1 year, $7.75 million. Pretty good contract there, in my opinion. Good lefty. Baltimore signs Pete Alonso, 5 years, $155 million. Now, this is one of the bigger guys in the free agent market as well. Alonso sounded like he wasn't really going to come back to the Mets. It is now official. He is going to Baltimore. 5 years, $155 million. I think I'm okay with that contract. I need to see what Pete does over there in Baltimore this upcoming season to see if that contract will prosper under something. I think Pete's a great power hitter. Will his defense still hold up with Baltimore? We will see. Baltimore had a really bad year this past season. Maybe this signing will get them back over the top. Atlanta signs Mike Yastrzemski to 2 years, $23 million, and Robert Suarez, 3 years, $45 million. Yastrzemski, I'm fine with. It's a good depth guy. But Suarez, I'm actually really excited for that to go to the Atlanta Braves. I think he, for 3 years, $45 million, pretty damn good contract. He had a pretty solid year for a majority of the first half of the year with San Diego. Honestly, the end of the season did not look really good for him, but I think what he's done overall definitely warrants a $45 million contract. Supposedly, he will be the setup guy for Iglesias next season. So if that is the case, we're not going to see Suarez in a closer situation unless Iglesias is injured. Then he's going to be the next guy up. But that could be a good 1-2 punch for the 8th and 9th inning for the Braves next season. The A's have signed Mark Leiter Jr. and Milwaukee signs Akil Baddoo. So that will be it for free agent signings. We'll head to the World Baseball Classic. A lot of new guys coming into their teams officially. Jarren Duran and Randy Arozarena to Mexico. Gunnar Henderson, Kyle Schwarber, Will Smith, Bryce Terang, and Griffin Jax all committed to the U.S. Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. are expected to be announced to the Dominican Republic team. That is not official, but Ellie De La Cruz did officially announce it. He'll be playing with them. Otto Lopez to Canada. Liam Hendricks will be going back to Australia. Carlos Correa and, shockingly, Nolan Arenado to Puerto Rico. Arenado most recently played with the United States in the last WBC. Him going over to Puerto Rico makes it seem like he just wants playing time. Puerto Rico will be able to give it to him because him going to the U.S., to me, would have been a lock, but having Gunnar Henderson in there at shortstop and potential at third base as well, I don't think there's going to be a lot of playing time for Arenado over that, especially when it comes to his bat recently. So him going to Puerto Rico, I think, is the reason why. So there's a couple WBC roster news there. Milwaukee announced that they will be bringing back their powder blue uniforms next season and dropping the road whites. Now, this really does seem like it's the end of the gray uniforms. I'm okay with keeping gray uniforms, but I'm also okay not having gray uniforms as well. Certain teams, I think, look good in them. Other teams do not. And I like color in the league. We see a lot of white. We see a lot of gray. Bring me some color. So these powder blues, it's another team with a powder blue. Milwaukee, I think, is okay having powder blues. We've seen it in the past before, back in the 80s and 90s. I like them bringing it back. So Milwaukee will probably be wearing those mostly on the road, but we will see what's going on next season. And the last thing to talk about, San Diego and Arizona were announced to be the Mexico City Series teams this upcoming season. They'll be playing that on April 25th and April 26th. All right, let's end to the NHL. We'll start off with the Heritage Classic for 2026. That was announced to be played at Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg, and it'll be Winnipeg hosting the Montreal Canadiens next season. Honestly, as Americans, we don't really care too much about the Heritage Classic. It's just another outdoor game in our eyes, and not a lot of people really kind of focus in on it. I think some people like it for the fact of new uniforms, outdoor venue, but honestly, when it comes to the U.S. fan base, I don't think a lot of people talk about the Heritage Classic, which is kind of a shame. But regardless, Heritage Classic next year will be hosted in Winnipeg. Tampa Bay announced that they extended Ryan McDonough 3 years, $4.1 million AAV. That's fine. Nothing too much to talk about. Utah's Logan Cooley out indefinitely with a lower body injury. St. Louis, Jordan Kyrie's out week to week with a lower body injury. And Toronto's Bobby McMahon was suspended 1 game for high-sticking Tampa Bay's Oliver Bjorkstrand. The LA Kings are in talks with potentially getting a new head coach, and that new head coach potentially could be Peter DeBoer. Now, DeBoer was recently fired from Dallas after last season. The way that ended was not very good. Can he be the new coach of LA? I actually would not be surprised. I think he's still a great coach. He will get LA to the playoffs again. Now, if it will happen this year, I don't know. I'd figure DeBoer is probably not going to come in soon. I feel like a lot more people would know it by now. But that is the circling around the NHL head coaching stuff. All right, let's head into standings updates. Since we haven't done the NHL in a while now, we'll talk about some of the standings here. We'll start off in the Pacific. Top 3 is Anaheim, Vegas, LA. So a lot of people not expected Anaheim to be the top team in the Pacific. I don't even think Anaheim expected to be the top team in the Pacific, but I am loving it. Love to see the Ducks up top. Vegas and LA rounding out that one. Edmonton's in the wild card spot there, 4th. San Jose, Seattle, Calgary, Vancouver rounds out that division. For the Central, we got Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota as the top 3. Chicago gets the wild card spot. The rest of the division, Utah, Winnipeg, St. Louis, and Nashville. Colorado, top team in the league, 21-2-7, where Dallas is right behind them in the league, 21-5-5. So really good records between those two teams. I can't wait to see what happens the rest of the season with those two teams, especially when they play against each other multiple times during the year. We'll head to the Metro now. Washington, Carolina, and New York Islanders take the top spots. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia actually have the 2 wildcard spots, and the rest of the division is New Jersey, the Rangers, and the Jackets. And then to the Atlantic, the top leaders are Detroit, Tampa Bay, and Boston. The bottom half of the division, Montreal, Florida, Toronto, Ottawa, Buffalo. Now, I don't think the East is very predictable by the looks of this. My preseason looks totally off outside. I love that I have Detroit at the top of the division right now, and I had them there during my prediction, so I can't wait to see what the Red Wings are going to be able to do the rest of the year. But Boston, hats off to them. I did not think they had the roster to do it right now. They're top 3 in the Atlantic. If they keep up with it, they're a playoff team in my eyes, and I think they're a scary playoff team. So who knows? Maybe Boston is a scary playoff team near the end of the year. But before we move on from the NHL, huge shout out to a podcast friend and an actual friend, Ty Murchison. He made his NHL debut last night, on Tuesday night actually, with the Philadelphia Flyers, number 96. He played 4 years at Arizona State, wore the assistant captain patch last season with them. Was been playing in Lehigh Valley, 21 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 total points, 30 penalty minutes, which sounds just like him. But I played roller hockey with him back in high school. Really good friends with him. Had some awesome times playing on the rink alongside him. So huge shout out to Ty. I'm so excited for you, dude. Can't wait to see what happens next. I'm super excited that you had your dream come true, getting to the NHL. So hopefully he sticks around in the lineup a little bit more, maybe gets a little bit more playing time, but really awesome debut. Can't wait to see what happens the rest of the year for you, bud. All right, let's head to injury news for the NFL. We'll start off with Kyler Murray. He's officially done for the season with that lower body injury. Washington, Zach Ertz tore his ACL. He's done for the year. Indianapolis quarterback Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. He's also done for the year. With that being said, they had signed 44-year-old Phillip Rivers out of retirement. He hasn't played in the league since 2020. I don't know if this is going to be a very good signing, but I don't think Indianapolis season is really going in the right direction after what they did to start out the year. I don't think Phillip Rivers is going to help him all that much. And how can a guy 4 years removed from the league be able to get them back to their winning ways and at least get them to the playoffs? I'd be surprised, but I guess only time will tell right now. So let's head to score updates from last week. Dallas lost to Detroit 30-44. Seattle beat Atlanta 37-9. Cincinnati lost to Buffalo 34-39. Tennessee beat Cleveland 31-29. Washington lost to Minnesota 31-0. Miami beat the Jets 34-10. New Orleans beat the Buccaneers 24-20. Indianapolis lost to Jacksonville 36-19. Pittsburgh beat Baltimore 27-22. Denver beats Vegas 24-17. The Rams beat the Cardinals 45-17. The Bears lose to the Packers 21-28. Houston beats Kansas City 20-10. And Philadelphia lose to LA 22-19 in overtime. All right, let's head into the picks for this upcoming week. We have some pretty good games. We'll start off with the Thursday game, Atlanta and Tampa Bay. I'm not too confident in either of these picks, but I'm more confident in picking Tampa Bay, so I'm going Tampa Bay. Cleveland at Chicago. This is no doubt Chicago. Baltimore, Cincinnati. I'm actually going to go Cincinnati. I don't like Baltimore very much right now. I think Joe Burrow is going to keep going with that team. The Chargers versus the Chiefs. Got to go the Chargers. The Chiefs do not look like the same team that we've seen the last couple years. Buffalo, New England. I'm going New England. It's crazy to say that they're 11-2, I believe, or 12-2, something along those lines. But Buffalo is not a bad team. It's going to be a really good game. But I got the Patriots winning that one. Washington and the Giants. I'm going Giants, the home team, with that one. Vegas, Philadelphia. I don't like either of these teams, but I like the Eagles just a tad bit better. Jets at Jaguars. I'm going Jags. Jets are very bad. Cardinals versus Texans. I'm going Cardinals. I think it's maybe an upset here. Green Bay versus Denver. I got Denver, but it's going to be a really good game. I think having the home team getting the edge there, though. Tennessee, San Francisco. San Francisco coming off a bye. I think they're going to look really good over the Titans. Detroit versus LA Rams. I'm going LA. I think it's going to be a really good matchup, though, but I'm going LA in that one. Carolina, New Orleans. I'm going Carolina. Indianapolis versus Seattle. Got to go Seattle. I don't know what Indianapolis is going to bring. Minnesota versus Dallas. I want to go Minnesota, but I'm not confident enough. I'm going Dallas. Miami versus Pittsburgh on Monday night. I'm going Pittsburgh in that one. A couple of news, though. Tampa Bay has activated Mike Evans and J-Leg McMillan from the IR. Expect him to play tonight on Thursday night. And Pittsburgh's TJ Watt does not sound like he's going to be eligible for Monday night's game due to a lung injury. All right, let's head to the cleanup. We'll start off with the MLS Cup. That was Miami versus Vancouver on Saturday, and Miami won this one 3-1. 2 assists coming from Messi, who was named the finals MVP. He also won the league MVP. He's the first person in league history to win back-to-back MVP. So congrats to you, Messi, and congrats to another trophy number 48 for his career. He hoisted alongside Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets, who officially has retired. They played their last professional soccer match. But Messi, DePaul, and Busquets become the only players to win the World Cup and an MLS Cup. So congrats to all three of you guys. I know MLS Cup is not really high up on the mark to a lot of people, but being American and being a fan of the MLS, this is a big deal for the league. So congrats to everybody on that Miami squad. Miami also had made headway. They scored the most goals by one team in a postseason with 20 total goals. And forward Tadeo Alande scored the most goals in the postseason with 9 goals for him. So congrats to them. The first MLS Cup for Inter Miami, and it came in a big way. All right, heading to the U.S. men's national team, they announced a new friendly game in May. There was a bunch of games called between Germany, Belgium, and I can't remember, Portugal, I believe. I think those are the 3 teams. There was one open game that was not finalized yet, and we have finally heard the name. It will be Senegal. So it'll be really good games for the U.S. as tune-up games for the World Cup. The only problem is I heard somebody saying that these games in May, with it being so close to the World Cup, might not be a very good reflection on either team, because both teams don't want to get injured and don't want to have something that they cannot bring to the World Cup tournament. So this might be a good match on paper, but we might not also see the best squads from Senegal and from the U.S., so that'll be something to pay attention to there. Speaking of World Cup, though, FIFA announced that they will be implementing a 3-minute hydration break for each half around the 22nd minute of every World Cup match, regardless if you're indoors or out. This is interesting. We've seen this before, the hydration breaks. It's a different way of coaching for sure. It's a different way of playing. If your team is trying to survive for 22 minutes, you get through that 22 minutes, then you can go to your coaching staff, make adjustments formation-wise, substitution-wise, regardless, whatever. That's a huge timeout. But if you're on the other end where you're up 2-0 and you need to win maybe like 4-0 or something like that going into the hydration break, maybe that slows you down. Maybe you can't get those extra 2 goals that you need for goal differential in a tournament like this, where a lot of third place teams make it, but you want to be one of the best of your group regardless. You don't want it to come down to match day on third place points and things like that. So this will be interesting to see how teams implement this for each of their squads. Will it be a 3-minute, everybody's just kind of on their own? Will it be 3 minutes of a coaching timeout? Will it be just focused on water? Who knows? But there'll be something to note there. Formula One Abu Dhabi, the last race of the season, all came down to pretty much 3 racers: Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Oscar Piastri. Piastri kind of was out of it unless something big happened to Norris and Verstappen, which, newsflash, it did not. Piastri did finish second, Verstappen with the win, Norris with third place, but because of the way that it ended, Norris won the championship, won it by 2 points over Max Verstappen, who dethrones him after 4 straight Verstappen championships. Lando Norris wins his very first championship in Formula One. And the first one from McLaren since I think 2008 is what they said. So really big news for Lando Norris, McLaren. We have a new runner of the league now. So very awesome way to end the season. A lot of drama between all 3 of those drivers. All right, let's head to the games of the weekend. We'll start with the NFL. We got Packers versus Broncos Sunday at 1:25 on CBS. NHL, I got Ducks versus Devils Saturday at 9:30 a.m. on NHL Network. English Premier League, I got Crystal Palace versus Manchester City Sunday 6 a.m. on NBC. And Bundesliga, I got Leverkusen versus Cologne Saturday at 9:30 a.m. ESPN+. All right, guys, that will do for this episode. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, the bell icon so you guys notify when episodes like this drop. I know we haven't had an episode of Pro Sports in a long time. That's just because of a lot of other stuff I've been focusing on the channel. But we appreciate you guys waiting around and coming back to the pro side of these episodes. Tomorrow, Friday morning, I will be recording a new episode all about college football bowl mania, college football playoffs, and potentially some other stuff around the head coaching news that has happened. If you guys don't know, go check out Michigan coaching staff situation there, because there's a lot to unpack. But I'm going to unpack that with my guests for that episode. Make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button so you guys know when that episode does drop, because that will probably drop, hopefully, later on Friday night, if not Saturday morning. So that will be out. Very quick episode, but we're recording Friday morning. Should be released at the very latest Sunday or Saturday morning before those games do start. So make sure you guys check those out. But we appreciate you guys so much. Have an awesome rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys later.